cold world, but luckily we have styrofoam. Always was a big fan of it. I didn't know there was a musician named Styrofoam. Rona has styrofoam. Styrofoam. There's a band in Vancouver. Styrofoam. I always like getting styrofoam food like that. Plates or I don't think I would call it fast food containers. Styrofoam fast food containers. Ways to recycle styrofoam. Look at how they're making it. It's a whole bunch of scrapped garbage, and they melt it up. But look at this. It's more than that. You gotta watch this. I watched something about in India how they made these bricks. That reminds me of that one. It wasn't India, it was somewhere else. They were making some bricks. That was cool to see. They made making styrofoam. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're gonna, yeah, dang, it's a little bit too late with those people. I mean, if you're thinking that way. But those people are keeping me safe here because we have a lot of certain kind of people in Canada. So now I know why they have it. It's to keep us safe too. Because once starts to get threatened, they're the only nation or whatever that can be like, hey, 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 hey. It's really not my duty to know what was going on. I think Mr. Biden got put out. And if you don't know what that means, it means that they put you under, um, they put you to sleep. I've only been put to sleep a couple times. It's usually when they think you're doing something really, really bad for real. Or to stop whatever's going on. Like a man moves. I get that. And a lot of people get into the bull or whatever when you're thinking about the stock market. But if you're bulling too hard, they'll stop you right in the middle of your bullish moment. And I don't think Joe was having much of a bullish moment. There was there's this guy next to me or whatever. He's a bull too. He's a big bull. I never tried to be a bully. I always tried not to be a bully. Even though I was big like a bully. I was a big bully, but I try not to act like a bully. But when you're a big bully and you're just a normal big bully and you're trying not to be a big bully, you know what they do? People do to you? They do that red flag thing. Oh, and you know what? Now I know what the red flag with the bull is. Because they do it to me every once in a while. It's like making the bull mad. Like you are so stupid. You are the bull. Check this red curtain because I'm the human, and the bull is mad. Bull gets super mad. It's like you think I'm so stupid at this red thing or whatever, but then it goes with it. They go with it too because they know they're performing. That's one thing I didn't know when I was younger. I didn't know that the animals were fully comprehensive. I mean by that is the bull is like a real live bull person. Doesn't have the same rights all the way as a human does or whatever, but they're thinking with their mind and they're reacting to everything. But anyways, Red Bull. I like Red Bull too. I don't drink it too often though. I'm taxed at 30% in the United States for my entertainment, but that won't ever happen. I'll always be on OSP. Even they say it. It's like, yeah, I get 30% taxed by the government for any automatically. Google Incorporated handles YouTube Incorporated and Google handles AdSense handles all my legal things with the United States at the cost of 30%. So if you have any interest in my earnings when it comes to my entertainment in the United States, you'll have to contact YouTube Incorporated and Google Incorporated's lawyers because those are the ones that deal with the 30% that I pay them. It goes directly to the United States government. Then I'm starting my clothing company. Really is a was a big family business, but I'm going to start off for my own life. And if it makes a lot of money, like super big amounts or what have you, it'll be an expansive new website. And what's it called? Hopefully, I'm trying to price everything. I might even up the prices. So that's if we up the price. And what is it called? It's telling you basically when you're getting the heart palpitation, it's telling you like you're out of your jurisdiction, you're out of you're doing something illegal, you're suggesting something illegal, you're suggesting something that we told you over and over again that we can't do, you're suggesting something that we're not doing it because it's illegal. Like you keep suggesting, oh, they shut this down in mine. They're saying, no, we're getting 30% money off that. We told you before, bump your real heart. And until you wake up like you just did or whatever, then you're going to continuously get bumps and even scrapes and maybe even worse. It's not torture, it's a technique that they've used for hundreds of years. I searched it up. I found it's really hard to find. It's called, well, it's sort of like they use rodents, very smart rodents, to make sure that the law is being abided. And I had never knew that too. So I'm not going to act like I know everything. But this is what I've found out through my life so far is that yes, everybody has these rodents and they have a variety of different jobs inside of our body. Like one of the jobs is you can't starve yourself and be a mean, aggressive person. You got to eat breakfast. You can't, or else the rodents will start to torture you. Another thing is you can't keep abusing your power and causing tyranny and ruining individual citizens' lives, or else the rodent will start biting. Stuff like that. The rodent will start to, um, well, they're law enforcement rodents. And the law is not a bad thing. Sometimes people just got to get up. Just because you're a police officer doesn't mean you're a lawyer. A lawyer is somebody that deals with the law all day. So maybe if you're a police officer and you're more into law, you should be a lawyer, etc., etc. Because you're not even doing your police job, or which is basically just sitting in your. You're supposed to be on patrol. You're supposed to be patrolling. And if you don't want to patrol, you can stay home. or be alleviated of your duties. I don't know. It's like you're supposed to be catching the bad guys. Okay, somebody actually stole my iPhone. They weren't charged with theft. And you know what I mean? These aren't the specific officers. We're talking about ones that don't look like these ones all look like pretty good officers, and most of them are. But they look like good officers too. But basically, the rodent's saying he's clear, he's been clear, and just back off. And you need to go move on, just like you were moved on prior. You had your own life, and I have my own life. And I get it. There's a lot of rumors and speculation, and there's a lot of this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, I'm a normal person, just like everyone else. And no matter how much you get into my work and everything, it shouldn't affect my sovereignty. I'm a sovereign citizen of Canada, uh, natural born. And I used to be a dual citizen of the United States. I'm not sure if I am or not anymore, but it doesn't really matter to me because I love Canada. And and any money that does come from the United States, it's taxed to the United States. And even though I don't like to live in the United States, I'm a big fan of the United States, but I don't like to live there. Sort of like the Queen is. I'm sure the Queen at her castle, she likes to enjoy United States entertainment. She likes to enjoy many things, maybe even the cuisines of the United States. But I wouldn't want to live there. I learned my lesson when I lived down there. And that was a lesson that Queen Elizabeth wanted Harry to learn. And Harry's been learning well down there. Harry's been learning well. Basically, Harry's either got to get a gun down there or Harry ain't going to fit in. Or he might have his dog stolen like Lady Gaga. Because if you don't have a gun down there, a lot of security, a lot of armed security, it's about you're bound to get robbed, Harry. You're bound to get robbed. Unless you're hiding in your house with a shotgun. Pop smoke. He was coming up. Everyone thought he knew everything too. Unfortunately, he didn't believe in firearms and he didn't believe in self defense, and that's why he died in his shower. Two little kids came in and they had guns, which I would consider illegal. And because he didn't believe in the policy that I keep, where I bring my gun to the bathroom whenever I take a shower, anything, he was killed and he is no longer. And if you're that kind of person, all respect due to you. My mom's that type of person. It's like when there's no fighting back. When it's her time to die, she says, she's gonna die, she says. But I know that there's a contrary to that, and it's all about energy, but there's a different word for it. Yeah, what's it called? Not energy, action? It actually has to do with action. And action is a word a lot of people just think like those action movies, lots of fire and flames, because when action happens, it's like go, go, go. Okay? That's how you avoid problematic things is action. But you got to watch how much action you do or whatever sometimes because people know that you're going to act. That happened one time when somebody tried to shoot me. They knew I was going to be in action, but I knew that. So then I stopped going in action, but then I knew they were going to, and etc. And every single bullet missed. It's a psychology. Psychologies are just strategies. Well, I guess you could say that, but it's almost like a strategy to determine like certain characteristics that all humans have or whatever. But then a lot of humans got really smart and started to see. It does work like this though, gears, and you need other humans or whatever to work with you. So I got a psychology toolkit in my mind, but I'm learning a lot more. Unity is a very good tool to have or characteristic. Unity. That's when everybody sticks together. But here's the thing. I'm so strong as a person, I can generally beat unity. Even just by myself, I can beat unity. So if I was unified with anybody else, I don't think anybody would ever be able to beat me. Like, just by myself, with no unity, I generally am doing good. So I can't imagine with unity. With unity, I would be like amazing. And that's what ODSP is for me. It's supposed to be unity, but one of our hands stole the iPhone recently or whatever and everything like that. So we know who that hand is. And it wasn't one of these hands. Like some people say, like, oh, are you racist? Was it the black hand? No, it wasn't. It happened to be like one of these white hands that I wouldn't have ever guessed. All right. But unity's a good thing. Not just this one, but all different types of United Nations, all that. I've always been pro United Nations. And lately, the United Nations has sort of been at separates. But then they come back. I did never understood the United Nations. But I did, kind of, but I didn't at the same time. I understood that it was a group of nations that were united around the globe with similar interests and beliefs and systems and all that. It's like, how can I be like that when I'm one of the ones that know sort of more things than others when it comes to that? They say that I'm supposed to be the one, I'm talking my own age group. Okay? Lots of people in the United Nations, that's not my age group. They're way older than Thomas. Thomas is 28 years old. I am 28 years old. A lot of the people in the United Nations, they're 60, 50, 40. Okay? But they say that people are, what are they called? Ignorant? Ignorant if they're like that? But I'm not ignorant. I'm the one that, whenever I have time, like right now, I give praise to the United Nations. And that's what it is. I think a lot of people right now, it's sort of their own personal time. Everybody spent years and years being so friendly to each other. I mean, it's like I just and there's other people, there's lots of new people. There's lots of new people to be friendly, but yeah, you got to watch those new people because they might be up to something. What is it called? But as long as the flags fly, but there's more to that, they would tell you. And there's lots of people watching. Okay. And I didn't know how many people were watching because I just got introduced to it recently. I had memory issues when I was younger, but now the memories are obvious. When I was younger, I didn't think it was real because I was so young. So there were certain things that people said to me or that I heard in my mind and whatnot, or theories and whatnot that I didn't think were real because it couldn't have been. But as you get older, those theories are very real. Every theory that you can come up with, every theory that you can come up with or whatever, generally could be a real thing. That's how I think of it. It could be a real thing. Yeah, there did used to be a lot of mafia wars, but I'm not the aggressor here. I'm just a kid that rides an e-bike or whatever. They're the rock machine. And there's no comparison between me and my father. My father's a whole different person. Okay, much more hardcore than I've ever been. I'm a computer guy. I work hard on the computer. That's all I do. And I like to go and enjoy bike riding. Yeah, because he's saying he's going to steal my motorcycle, and he's going to do this to me, and he's going to steal this, and he's going to. So what are you talking about? He said he was going to steal my motorcycle. He stole my iPhone. He said he was going to like come in here and kill me and steal my whole life or whatever. So, yeah, I would have the right to defend myself, but that's irrelevant. I'm out here enjoying my bike, dude. I got like $800 in locks on that thing. You will not get into it. All right. And stop bothering people in the government about how much money I have or whatever because you just joined ODSP or you've been on disability for this amount of years or you're making income here or whatever. Because guess what? I can have up to 50,000 in my account or a combination of assets. So I can have 50,000, okay, dollars or whatever on with a combination or what have you, or 40,000, right? I can have up to 40,000. So right now I'm at like 2,500 at maximum of assets. You know, it depreciates. Once you take it out of the box and you actually use it and shit, depreciate. So I only have 2,500. That means I can have $37,500. I can have like 37,000 more dollars in my account. Okay, I can have about $35,000 more in my account. That's being very fair. 35,000 I can have more in my account. That's overestimating how much I have just to call it a day. I have my e-bike. I bought it for 2,800. Okay, but once it comes off the lot, it's rusted out. It was out there all winter. That thing's worth like 1,000 now. Okay, so my e-bike's worth 1,000. I bought my laptop for 2,000, but I've had it for 2 years now. It would not resell. It would probably only resell for like 700. So my laptop computer is only worth 700 now. That's 1,700. Then I got an Xbox One or whatever the hell, Xbox Series S, the new one. That's $379. Okay, 800, 900, 1,000. You're talking 2,000 total right now. I have like hardly any clothes, maybe like $200 worth of clothes at max, maybe like 150. Okay, there's 2,150, and then I got a pair of shoes or whatever that's worth 50 or whatever, so that's 2,200 or whatever. I got a diamond ring or whatever that I bought it for a certain price, but it ain't worth that now. It's only worth about $100 in gold, so we're at 2,300 now. I have a cell phone that's probably worth because it's broken or whatever, maybe like at max $50. So I'm still like way under 3,000. All right. Yeah, that's the whole computer system. It ain't worth much. You're still around 3 grand. Okay, I'm at 3 grand. So 40,000 minus 3,000. I can have up to $37,000 still. Okay. And on top of that, and if I save up 25,000, I can buy a mortgage. I mean, I can get a mortgage. So then now I have a principal mortgage and that's exempted. So I had 25 grand, but then I got a mortgage. So now I have $0 again, but I have the house. The whole house, no matter if the house is worth $1 million, even if the house is worth $1 million, doesn't matter, bud. This is the law. Even if the house is worth $1 million, that would be exempt. I would put my down payment of $25,000 down, and then I would pay my mortgage every month. Okay. And then until my bank account hits $40,000, which it will not, because I'm going to pay mortgage and I'm going to pay car payment, and I need clothes, toiletries, wipes, medications, food, all that. It's never going to hit that limit ever in our lifetime. I will be on disability for life. Okay? Doesn't mean you will be, but I will be. You need to go look me up. I'm extremely disabled. I'm one of the fattest men in all of Canada. I'm not the fattest man because I met one of the fattest men. He was in my he was in my hospital. But I'm one of the fattest men in Canada for sure. I have morbid obesity and I have cancer and I got a lot of different ones, but most of them are physical actually. And every month I get more ODSP, the better. And you know why I didn't get this one? I got the e-bike or whatever because I might get some exercise. I'm sort of like right in the middle, right? I haven't got to this guy, but dude, I got the big back fat too, bro. Go watch my videos. I got this big back fat, and it's not like this or whatever. But you know what? Some idiot would probably say we're just the same. And a lot of my friends and family are also on disability, and if it wasn't for them, I would have never got it. Because I remember when they would get away with, well, I try my hardest not to end up like this guy, right? Where he's stuck. But actually, I was like this guy in the hospital. I was like this guy in the hospital for a short time. And I'm bigger than this lady or whatever, but she's squished. She got squished. I'm a lot like this guy. But anyways, I've seen people way healthier than me get ODSP and have no issues. Well, so am I. And that's why you get bit by rodents every time or whatever, because you're saying I'm not a Canadian when it's already been proved I have my birth certificate here. And my whole family's here. And I speak just like you. And actually, I have more in Canada than you do. So enjoy being bitten and bumped by rodents again or whatever, and should teach you a good lesson. Yeah, it all starts out like this, eh? That's how my belly is, and it started out like that. It gets worse and worse. Actually has a mind of its own. It has a mind of its own. And I hate this is the most thing that I hate the most about being fat is when you buy a new t-shirt and you don't know the specific size of it or something, and then your belly shows up. It usually happens when you first start buying clothes and you're like, am I a 3XL or a 4 or 5XL? Or am I a 2XL? And stuff like that. Or if somebody else is trying to confuse you, or sometimes they try to make you feel bad about it. But then I learned like how to get the proper fitting clothes. But sometimes as a fat person, it's hard to get proper fitting clothes or whatever. And you look a certain way with the certain clothes. But I'm getting the proper fitting clothes again or whatever. And that I remember when I was a kid, that was a big thing. Being a fat person, sorry, that would get proper fitting clothes. You were seen as like extremely wealthy in Canada. Like if you were got and in the United States, that was a thing with Rick Ross. Remember he used to say, "Oh, I got it tailor made," right? He had to get it the size because he was a lot bigger than the general. Because they used to only have like maybe large and double, maybe an extra large at most or whatever. And then they came out with that XXL magazine and all that. Then it started going up to XXL and XXXL. And then Rick Ross came out and it was 5X and all that. Right. And then I came up and or whatever, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna be just like Rick Ross or whatever. So then I started buying clothes or whatever. Then they upped the sizes or whatever. You know what I'm saying? No, that's who I am or whatever in this world or whatever. Okay? You don't know or whatever because you weren't there or whatever. Like, okay, but anyways. So now I'm up to like a 5X size 50 or whatever. But they still got a real lot of really nice clothes that are my size. Like this, believe it or not, like these pants right here are like size 48. Mm-hmm. And this shirt is like probably a 3X, but I've gotten bigger than that. This hoodie, the Falcons, I bought this hoodie from Atlanta. It came up from Atlanta back in the day when I was a big Atlanta. And I did a bunch of videos with it. What's it called? I used to wear these champions. I bought a lot of champion stuff back in the Foot Locker. I went through True Religion back in the day. I had like 4 pairs of Truies. I had a white pair. I even have a video where I show that I bought please. Look at this tiger shirt. This one was a little bit small, too small, but I got a couple good pictures out of it. Well, you had to really watch it when you, because your stomach would come out a bit. So, but I got my pictures out of it though. That's all that matters. But that was a good. It was a good one for like a little event, you know. Just do a little 1-2. You go through for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you're out of there type of one. That's what I did with that one. Yeah. But anyways, this all. I got new clothes in my. Oh, did I show everyone or anybody that cares? I was looking at these Steve Austins earlier. And I'm getting my Sig Sauer equipped, so I had a lot to look through on the Sig Sauer. I was even looking at Sig Sauer t-shirts, my loadout. I'm getting the reflex sight. I decided I'm getting the flashlight with the laser beam and all that or whatever. And I'm gonna get these shirts for this summer when I'm riding my motorbike, my e-bike. I'm getting this Bo Jackson Royals if it's still available, number 16, 2022 team champions. They just won, didn't they? So I'm going to get the Royals. And then I'm going to get this one here, the Best Match Partisan 17 Years of Hell, and the AC/DC Highway to Hell 1979. So when I'm riding my bike, wait till I'm actually out there riding. Actually, I'm going to start riding next month. I get my battery next month, but it takes a little bit for the t-shirts to come in. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to be wearing these ones until maybe like a June. But once it hits like a June or something, like a June, month of June, I will be wearing this AC/DC Highway to Hell 79 shirt if they still have it. Like I said, they're pretty limited. They only have one of them. Well, that's the one I want. I can't afford it right now. It comes from Toronto. Actually, that is the one I want. It comes from Toronto, this one. Made in the USA. They got a lot of t shirts down there in the USA. This one comes from Toronto, too. I want these two. I want those three. I mean, and then I think this one comes from somewhere else, Kansas City, Indiana, Indianapolis, Indiana. So I might have to say no to this one or whatever because the Bo Jackson is going to cost significant money when it comes to custom. But how I see it, $76.91 for two T-shirts. I mean, the kid's going to be riding around. I'm going to be riding around the city on my bike. People know I'm a famous person. Everybody knows who I am. It's gotten to that point where everybody knows I'm this guy, knows I'm that guy. So I gotta wear a nice shirt or whatever. Yeah. I've always been famous since I was actually since I didn't even know I was famous since I was a kid. Okay, let me tell you this. If you have any sort of money in this world, you're famous. Like to people that don't have anything. Okay, so if you have a house, you're famous. If you have a car, you're famous. If you have a dad that has anything, you're famous. If you go to school and you're a cool kid or in any sort of clique or whatever, you are going to be super famous. So watch out. Start acting like more like a famous person. Yeah, because dude, they people obsess over you just like you're famous. No matter if you ever even have a picture, a video, or anything, you could be considered famous to other people that looked at you. So keep that in mind. You know, like Port Elgin Airport. This is a famous place. I want to check this place out. Maybe you'll see this in one of my vlogs. This is an airport in the city I live in, and actually, my mom walks over there all the time. But maybe I'll ride my bike over there, my motorcycle. I'll bump the lady that's trying to rob my mom's bank account. I've never been over to this Port Elgin, but this is, I think, in New Brunswick. Port Elgin, New Brunswick. Yeah, I have family over in New Brunswick. I did anyway. I think he's long gone now or whatever, but he was older. His name, I think, was Uncle Bill. And that's where I had the blueberry crumble. And that's where I had the blueberry crumble. And boy, did he make some blueberry crumble. Nowadays, Tom, I would say, oh, that's just a blueberry crumble. Okay. But when I was a kid, I still have that blueberry crumble in me. You know how much that meant to me when Uncle Bill gave us that blueberry crumble? It was like heaven. It was very expensive. It meant a lot, right? And we had it right there. It was the first time I ever had homemade. You could taste it was out of a fresh oven. It was hot. It wasn't store bought. Okay, store bought is way different. And we had it right sitting on the edge of New Brunswick. Right, he had this property. It's still there. Maybe it's a bigger house now. I'm not sure. I don't know. It was a pretty big house back then. We even had video of it. You'd have to ask my mom about that video. I wasn't even old enough to hold on to that video, and she didn't trust me with the video. She wouldn't give it to me. So obviously there was something to have in that video. Anyways, New Brunswick, yeah, you would hover right over the that ocean, that Atlantic Ocean. Way up, way up. You'd have to see it in person. Way up here, like in one of these houses. With a picnic table and everything looking out to the ocean. Then we walk down to these. The tide goes in and out. And we went down there when the tide was back in, I believe it was to be called. And then it comes out. It comes up. It comes up to about here. Eh? This was what you would call erosion. You learn that in school about erosion and things, about how the water comes up and erodes. That is how this part was created. The Atlantic Ocean erodes that specific part of Canada. And that's where one of my uncles is from. Actually, I got a lot of uncles and aunties there that live there still, that are young, and maybe some people remember some of our elders. Some people do, some people don't. That's generally a remembrance day type of thing. We remember generally it's not just veterans. Well, anybody that lived in Canada or whatever that made it and whatnot to like 90 years old or whatever, 80 years old, 70, no matter what they did as a job, they're veterans. I mean, you don't just have to carry a gun and shoot and protect and all that to be a veteran. There's all different types of veterans, including our elder family members like uncles, aunties, grandpa, grandmas, all that or whatever. But she's not or whatever. So I'll be right here with her. And that's what happens to you people. Look at this Fortnite Royal Canadian Legion featuring Remembrance Day Island. Fortnite. I never seen this before. Let's see. Even seven, dude. I used to make 4,000 a month, and that wasn't even Royal Canadian Legion. Let's see.
A well-known Pittsburgh.
They've been repeatedly